Hello and welcome to the jungle coaching video, and in this one we have a silver Rammus and a silver Udyr. Now, this Rammus has been silver forever, for his entire life, even this season. Negative win rate, silver 2, silver 3, bouncing around up and down we go, yo-yo gaming. However, he has seemingly found a methodology around this Rammus champion that's allowed him 71, 72% win rate. So, this is how you climb in silver, and this is how you get gold, because if he keeps doing it, he will be gold for the first time in his life, and we will applaud him and celebrate his success, because you just gotta find the thing that suits your play style, suits your vision of the game. And obviously, you know, we have different times to play the game, and not everyone gets to put in, 1,000 games a week, but you're on your own journey. You just sometimes have to find the right champion and play style. And, we talk a lot about that in the Jungle course. In addition to the free Jungle Improvement PDF available on Virkayu.gg, there are also copious amounts of courses and coaching for your specific MMR. One of those is the Iron and Bronze course, which allows you to get to silver, along with the silver course that allows you to get gold, a beautiful bundle of everything you need to escape ELO hell. In Bronze and in Silver, the video course will basically deconstruct why you do what you do and how to fix those things that are holding you back. Why spend hundreds of hours figuring out what it takes to become a gold jungler, when instead you can have all of the information distilled directly into your veins, such that you can have it in a few weeks. That sounds pretty good to me if you can apply all the principles that quickly. Head to Virkayu.gg, the jungler's learning paradise. Now the main thing is, right, when you're Rammus, can we 5 camp, can we 6 camp, can we 2,000 camp? Yes. We can, fine. But, you have to ask yourself the question, is that what I should be doing on this champion? Or should I be going for high KP, reasonable farming cadence? Yes, exactly, we should do. Now, we are against an Udyr who's going to go boom, 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 full clear, as they always do. And if he doesn't, fine, he loses out, because he should be doing his own game plan. Let's have a look. Let's see. You cannot make this stuff up sometimes. It's absolutely hilarious. You're like, he should be full clearing, right? That's what he should be doing. And if he decides to go for a gank here, he's compromising his own sort of game style, because Rammus is like, well, I can farm. So basically, and gank. Udyr is now chilling in this bush. He's going to run at a Morgana who has flash, who at this particular stage does not have black shield, which kind of makes sense in this particular case if you want to shove. But look at this. Look at this. He shows again briefly. Now he stands still. Look at this. It's warded. It's warded. And of course, you're saying, well, how would he know it's warded? Should he not just wait for the gank? I mean, just look, it's very simple. Watch, you're full clearing as Udyr. You're full clearing as Udyr. You're like, yep, here we go. Here we go. Watching the Morgana. There we go. We're doing the Raptors. Watching the Morgana. Doing the Raptors. I want to gank this lane. Watch her behavior. Watch what she does here. All right, we're doing this. There she goes. Here she goes. She chucks a Q. Off she goes. Up. And now she comes back down. What is most likely the reason for her actually disappearing from vision to go towards a topside bush? You're gonna ward it. Now, is this an intelligent place to put a ward? Against an Udyr, it would make sense, because he's gonna full clear, then loop around and gank the topside. However, it's a little too soon for that. At the same time, we know that at 227, champions are finishing a quadrant and crossing over, which means it's exactly the right kind of time where they could cut in and cut up. Now, would you expect an Udyr to do this? No, not at all. But it just means that you could hold that warding trigger on the top side there a little bit more, and at the same time now, we are forced to flash. We don't have our black shield up, but that's fine. The Udyr now has not recognized this, is wasting his time. The Rammus is like, well, I kind of want to go to my red here, but you know what? If the Udyr is going to shadow the scenario, I'll take a cheeky look as well. Here we go. Hello. Whoa, the W. Got to time the W. Watch the W and only go in when the W is down, because if it's up, he's just going to use it to escape. Now, we know that's like a 20-second, 22-second cooldown on this thing. See, 20 seconds. It used to be 22. Many, many moons ago. It's interesting, because those spells, like the Vladimir Sanguine Pools, the Echo Ws, the Zed Shadows, these cooldowns have gone up and down around 20 quite a few times over history to kind of mitigate or give mobility when necessary. So yeah, we're at 20 seconds at the moment. Now the Udyr crosses, does this. We see this little Scuttle Crab here. He goes to the blue, he does the Scuttle Crab. Now he probably thinks, can I gank top lane or can I invade? And I love this from the Rammus. I love it, because you know that your champion is not going to run in and try and kill an Udyr. You're not going to do it. So he goes heads up. Now, would I have rotated to this? Not really. I would have just let the Udyr sit and waste time, because Morgana can see him. You can see him. And now we can go red, Krugs super fast, and then maybe look to leverage that into a gank or some sort of scuttle fight. It doesn't really matter what you want to do. Maybe you have to give it up anyway. It doesn't matter. But the point is, he does shadow. He falls back to this. He wards this, knowing the Udyr at this particular stage might look to do some sort of weird invade. And then he goes to the Krugs. The Udyr now walks around, is like, wait, is he on the Krugs? Where is he? What's going on? We see him going top lane, we ping it. Morgana gets the first blood, well done. Now the Rammus should be thinking about counter ganking this because obviously Udyr is going to try and wrap around the back. There we go. Rammus finishes his Krugs to get level 4. The Mundo says, I'm just going to chuck a cleaver into you, into a minion wave. Rammus says, hello, and he ease a Mundo with his passive up. So when you're a silver jungler like this Rammus, all right, all you need to know is that you have to jungle better than the Udyr. How does it make you feel when I say that? Confident, right? You should feel confident because that's what silver jungling looks like. Now at this particular stage, this is what we call the read of the map. We know that Udyr did 12 CS, ganked mid lane, jacked off, went here, did this. It's highly likely he did this before invading us now, and then he goes to the top side. So that immediately gives you 20 CS, right? We know that, boom. So we know the Gromp is available, we know the Wolves are available, but where is the Udyr going to go afterwards? Is he going to go for his second spawn Krugs and gank bottom lane, which is shoving up? It's a jinx. Maybe you can burn some summoner spells. Do we go and snack this and then take the second spawn Gromp from the Rammus, knowing that he might try and do this? Now you're saying that this is too advanced for silver. I disagree because the Rammus is doing it, right? He's making this play saying, look, I trust the mid laners will go back to the mid lane. If Udyr shows up, I'm confident I can beat him still. And the Udyr at this particular stage is 807 gold and doesn't spend anything. He doesn't spend any cash money gold. He's like, I'm going to hold it. What are you holding it for? Why are you holding it for? When are you holding it for? Just spend the gold, man. Even if it just boots, it's useful. So we see the Jax here. Mundo's kind of shoving this up. We're being shilling in this bush. We anticipate that the Udyr most likely goes down, but if he does show up, he shows up, right? So we have to pay attention to that. So we see the Jax super low. Oh, that is a nice cleaver. We'll just do the little knock up there. We don't stop the taunt. We just make sure we have everything active. We haven't even used our ghost, by the way. Also, we probably should have used our W to tank a little bit extra just in case. You know, I know they removed the movement speed, which is amazing, right? So we should probably just use that a little bit more when you're trying to tank turrets. But that's very, very nice. Now the Udyr at this particular stage goes here, nothing's here. He's waffling to the top side. This is, oh, he didn't have to cancel his base. He didn't have to cancel. He should have trusted himself and just left it. That's why you don't cancel. Just hold. Now the Rammus should go, oh boy, this free. And then you can go counter jungling and take this and then gank this. It's all available for the Rammus to use outside in rule at this particular stage. And the Udyr probably runs down here for this gank, right? So we can take this in shadow in anticipation. Maybe he steals a Raptors randomly, but I don't know if he has that built within him. I'm kind of curious to see where he shows up and what exactly he does. So we'll snack this right here. Our bottom lane's basing. So here I do feel like there's 2 or 3 possibilities. I'm staring at the map. We have here the Udyr goes and takes this, ganks mid. Or the Udyr basically realizes, look, 24 CS. So I know I killed the Udyr, took his Gromp, he showed up here, so he did his wolves. That means when I see him moving down here past the Mundo, he's either going to do this, or just go back down to the bottom side. Am I comfortable going to fist this guy right here on the Raptors as Zed is there, as Morgana is there, and as my bottom lane's going back to base? Yes, I'm comfortable forcing the 2v2 with mid and myself versus Udyr, right? You have to watch the bot lane though for those rotations. Just even in silver, yes, you have to watch him. Even in bronze, yes, you have to watch him because, you know, that can lose games. But I like the idea of maybe placing a control ward here, or just seeing what's going on, hitting the plant. I like the aggressive move here. Now, what happens is if we fall back to our blue side and the Udyr does this, it gives him the possibility of ganking this low mana, no flash, Zed with ult up. That is something we can do. So the Morgana now is going to go back to base actually, which again, fortuitous for us. So we're doing this, brilliant. This plant gets hit, so we know the Udyr is here in this vicinity, so that's great as well. This is just a passive CS controlling play, which is absolutely fine. We're not quite yet 6, although I might look to ideally kind of do the Wolves and cut back down, but I like this better. If you're a farming jungler and you're thinking, hey, maybe I can hold this, maybe I can do something about this, that's great. But what he's doing here is actually really, really smart. He goes back to do this, and instead of being distracted by the wolf camp, he sees his Milio and his Jinx arriving back to the bottom lane with a Zeri pre-6, a Rakan pre-6, and we can hit this plant and maybe do something about it. I like the idea here, and then of course we can leverage that into El Dragon, because this guy is half HP, gonna shove him base. Morgana's coming out of base, full mana, full resources. We will have this entire play to control the game. So let's see what happens. Okay, we wait for a bottom lane. Obviously, that's the move. Hit the plant, activate the Powerball. We have activated the Ghost as well. We want to make sure we get onto that Zeri there before she starts to do Zeri things. There we go. We get the taunt. We get the trap. So we're using our Powerball. That is really good. So she does that. Doesn't really matter here. Come to the Rammus. I want to snack you nicely. Rammus is not a nice champion for ADCs because they just end up killing themselves on him. I love it. Just like we foresaw, the Zed is gone. The Morgana's going to shove this out with a couple points in her W already. The guy's doing a lazy base. He's forced to cancel it. Now we can go straight to the dragon. In the meantime, the Udyr, you're asking, what's he doing? Well, he's slowly done his Raptors and his Krugs and his Red. And I was looking at this. This is dumb. I hate this. Don't steal this. Just give it up, man. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Don't do it. Udyr, oh, thank goodness. I thought he was just going to go in and die. But this kind of jungling for me is, look at the difference. This Rammus has seen the light. This Rammus has learned all the things. This Rammus is primed for gold now. He said, I'm sick of being silver. I want to go next level. What champion enables me to do that? Beautiful. I'm going to 5 camp. I'm going to 6 camp potentially. I'll cut if I need to. I'm going to track the Udyr a little bit, make that counter gank topside. Very, very nice. I'm going to go back to base and outside the rule into this. Great use of the crab first. He doesn't go for the aggressive play, but again, as I said, that's a calculated risk on your part. No mana mid, a little bit low, bot lane and base. How strong is your champion, right? So he chooses the safe route of doing the grub, then syncing up with Jinx and Milio here for the gank and translating that into an objective. I don't like the repeat gank here. I don't think that's entirely necessary. I like the kill on the Udyr, but once we've done... So the one time we have a Jinx ult hit, I'm not looking at it, and it's not even a high elo gameplay. Boom, season 2 of Arcane went. And basically now we're going to do this, and we'll have what in pocket? Not enough to really go back to base. I mean, you could justify it, but I'd much rather do the blue and the wolves and then go back bottom lane with 6. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to loop that, that's a better play. But obviously they go back to base again as well. People go back to base too much in the Zelo. You're going to have to kind of navigate that sometimes with your pathing. But ideally, the whole point was finish off this quadrant. Maybe if opportunistically we could gank this again, we do it. And now we want to go play on this side. Because we know Udyr, when he shows up here and dies, has taken this whole red side. So he's going to go top side now, no doubt. Don't give them freebies in the Zelo. Say no to the Herald. I'm not giving you the free Herald. I beat you 1v1 now. I am Rammus. And of course the Zed's going to think he can do stuff, and he can't. So we are staying out now, doing a blue, into the Grump. Okay, see now we're kind of delaying a little bit the pressure. The Udyr at this point could have seen this and gone straight for this. He's definitely taking the Scuttle Crab already. The Morgana's now moving up to the top side. The Rammus is going to basically upgrade his thing past 20 treats here. He's going to hold the mid lane while the Morgana goes top lane. We're using our defensive Powerball there to absorb the damage from the Zed. A lot of damage, but the Zed cannot go in. If he has ult, he cannot go in because as soon as he does, taunt, knock up, ult, it's doomed. So it will at worst be a 1-for-1 for him, but most likely he just straight up dies. So the Udyr at this particular stage has taken this, is not looking to sneak this away. Now everyone's going to sync up with the top lane here as Morgana shoves it out. The Rammus should have foreseen this move and already be ghosting up. Not ghosting like pressing ghost because he doesn't have it, but he should already be moving up to counter gank this, right? So this is a mistake on the Rammus' part, a lack of foresight, but obviously it's not his fault. You can make that executive decision of, hey, I'm just going to do my quadrant, guys. You shouldn't be there. You should leave. And that's fine too. Although we are witnessing, we are patient gaming, we are vibing. I don't know if I would necessarily do that here. I think this is fine to do red, to Krugs, and then hold top lane. Red Krugs, hold top lane, easy source. Don't let them get a free plate, it's all good. We've waited a long time now to try and go, oh, he does the double knock up into the Taunt, forcing the flash shot from the Jax. Do we have enough? No, the Counter-Strike moves on through, the Zed repositions, we get stunned, we're getting chunked, and we die. So there you go, great example of overcommit. A great example of wasting time instead of farming. So these areas need to be continually improved, right? The one time this game, he stood still and did nothing. Oh no. Oh baby, here we go. Arcane Season 3? No way. The one time a Jinx is hitting cross-map ultimates, not once but twice, is a silver game. And in the gameplay channel, they just miss them all the time. Drifting, Ashe ults, Jinx ults, they're just cinematic byproduct, you know? So here, fine. Okay, I want to stay out and hold. I see him going up. Guys, back out, back out, back out. Anyway, and you do your camps and you just hold, all right? Don't overcommit, waste your ult and die, and it's just not something you want to do. So once we've done that, that's great. And of course, because they will base, we could look to snack this up with a Mundo TP. However, we didn't, we died, and the one time this game we stood still, we lost tempo and we got violated a little bit. And the Udyr has been standing still the whole game, right? He is severely compromised by every metric. Now, because we died, we're forced to go to this side forced to do our red and our Krugs, right? So what we would have probably wanted to do here is say, look, screw the sequencing because it doesn't matter anymore. Krugs, red, can I gank mid lane to get that pressure? Take this thing, pull back to this. Always keep this control ward or to scan if you think people are going into your jungle. You see them going into your jungle, just habits, habitual stuff. And then we can basically loop back around for ganks here and here. So we can prep for this dragon. Now, because he's gone red Krugs, he's going to go back to the top lane. We know the Jax has no flash. So this is a fine gank. But the death has cost him this ability to take dragons and heralds, which is the issue. You see, not too concerned about that herald at this particular stage because, you know, we could have probably secured it pretty easily by not dying. However, in this particular case, we know that Udyr is going to be down on this side. We've ganked this guy. We know we're going to most likely have to give up that dragon. I would tell you, just give it up. If your bot lane and mid lane want to rotate and kill it and fight it, let them. What you should just be doing is say, look, it's 12:43. I need to snack this sucker up because I need to use it. I can punch it here. It's a little, nah, don't really want to punch it there, but if you had to, you could. You know, here we've got, this is a nice place to punch it. Can I gank this and punch it, you know, right after I've taken it? And if the Udyr wants to sit in this dragon pit and do it, and they want to rotate over with the Morgana and do stuff and steal it away, thank you. From somebody down. I appreciate that greatly. I'm a snack this one though. And that's the kind of thing of when you get your laners ahead, even at silver, you can let them do things, trust them to do things. And when they fail, it doesn't really matter because you're fed. So definitely a big booby here. Look, we're standing still again now. We're standing still again. Okay, we have no scanner. So you're seeing some silver tendencies. We're shouting across the mid lane here. No wave. We know he's most likely on this. We see the plant get hit by the Zed. Like, hello, hello. Can I interest you in anything? Oh, Zed gets caught out there. That's a little bit of a taunt and a dead Zed, I think. There we go. It is like, uh-oh. Awaken, baby. CC immune, even if he wants to walk on the traps. We'll take this. So now you're saying, but isn't this better? To take this ocean, they just nerfed dragons in general. The ocean wasn't, you know, I don't really feel like it's worth this rotation. I feel like this experience, local gold plus 300 cash money, plus plates, all right, is way bigger in the long run because that gold gets translated directly into atomization that can counter, fulfill you, and allow you to do a lot more stuff on the map. This, I'm happy letting him waste 30 seconds of his map while I take everything away from him. Because the gold effectiveness of that one ocean dragon is not going to supersede what I've gained for myself as well as the team overall. So we now go to the bottom side after doing a blue, and again, we're clear the ward, man. So we're seeing a little bit of the second part of the mid game. Definitely slowing down, standing still a bit, not quite sure where to go, but he's played well. Okay? Remember, to get gold, you have to play like a gold 4 jungler and be better than all the silver junglers in the world. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be diamond, you don't have to be master, you don't have to be, I mean, you can be. Wanted to, but it's not mandated that you have to be. You just have to be better than the silver players. And I think in this particular case, you can see a drastic difference, even early game. I'm a 5-6 camp, look for gank, maybe scuttle, if available. If I have to cut, I'll do it. This guy. Waits, and level 3 ganks of Morgana. Sits in the bush that we know is warded. Moves up to the blue, does a scuttle, randomly goes into invades. Goes top lane into a minion wave and dies. Comes back up, does the wolves, walks up here, walks down here. Back down to this. In the meantime, the Rammus has won the game. So you're seeing the drastic shift between a typical silver jungler and, of course, a Rammus. So we're going in here for the maximum ultimate into the taunt, into the Morgana Q. It is spicy. Nicely done. We didn't waste our ghosts either. We knew we could get there with our particular ultimate. And now we're going to go take this Herald with the top lane prior from the Mundo who took this thanks to our pressure, but we don't get any gold. But you don't get any play gold as Emilio has died. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't control these things. So we'll let the Mundo do that. We'll take the Scuttle Crab. I do this as well. That's nice. You know, 2 things at once. Fine. Just don't do it when it's just you and you're worried about collapses. Like, focus on one thing. Take the Scuttle Crab, start the Herald, because then, of course, you can speed away, run away if necessary. But this is fine. This is okay. The denial of the dragon and the kill, we didn't get when we killed the Zed. That's fine, you know, but still. Herald, super good. Now we're going to drift to the mid lane here. We're basically saying, should we use it? No. There's nothing to use it on, right? I don't think we want to punch it. I mean, you could. This is not good. Because now look, collapsible. You're just forcing this vortex, right? You get this V. Boom, boom. Now, yes, we've taken this, which means we could shove this up, but we don't currently have it shoved up. Here, this is still up, which means you cannot match the shove. So you're not parallel pushing at all. Parallel pushing means everyone will be kind of along this line of tier 2 versus tier 1, or at least at the same point in between. We're not there. So we're punching this, and invariably we could get collapsed upon very, very easily. And I don't like that potential coin flip at all. I think it's better here to snack this, snack this, snack this. And if you've got the gold, 2,700 gold, right? A lot of gold at this point. Boom, boom. Top quadrant complete. Herald snacked. Back to base. Start building the next itemization. And boom, down we go now. We wait for our bottom lane to be there again, which they will be. Make the gank here. Punch it here. Let Morgana push. Let this guy push. 1-1-3. Nice macro, right? Nice mid-game decision you could make, even in silver, because your Morgana probably just keeps pushing. Your Mundo probably keeps pushing, and your bot lane also. So we might as well join them with the Herald and say, let's go, because I've got 6,200 cash money gold, which is 400 short of Mundo, and everyone on my team has 6k plus. Enemy team has no one close to that. The Rammus has made his team fed. The Rammus has made himself fed. The Rammus is carrying the game via this mechanism. This isn't the Rammus getting blessed with good teammates. He is making it like this because he has a 72% win rate. You don't... If every game you play, your laners are terror shit, terrible inters. If every game you play you have bad laners, probably you. You're probably not impacting them. You're probably not doing anything to help them. You might even just be hurting them intentionally or unintentionally, doesn't really matter. If the laners are always bad in your games and you cannot carry them, it's because you are not helping. You are letting them exist, and you're most likely actively harming them in some particular way. It's a huge thing to recognize as a jungler. When you see jungler smurfing, you don't go, wow, all his laners are always good. This Rammus is so lucky. The guy's been silver for years, my friends, years. And he's suddenly turning it around with this Rammus game plan. You can see why. It's huge, absolutely huge. The enemy jungler doesn't know what to do because they're just standing still and he's not. Flash Q from the Morgana. I mean, I'll admit that's nice, right? I'll admit that's good, but she's 2-2-3, guys. It's not like she's 10 kills. It's very, very important to understand these things. Can we dive this for the memes? Yes? Okay, here we go. Boom, taunt out of turret range. Here's a Zed, super low HP, doesn't really matter. Now, yeah. So, the jinx again. Did you see the jinx? That's 3. So, I shook my head because I said, can we dive it for the memes? And then I shook my head because you don't really want to die here at all, but at the same time, you know, you gotta have fun with it. And I do like these kinds of plays as long as you can, if you're the one who dies and your team can take the turret and all that stuff, it's fine. So overall, okay. But again, he's the one making these plays. He's the one that's driving this thing. You know, and the jinx is honestly just hit cross-map ults. It's not like these are lucky things, right? If she misses them, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the nature of the game for the Rammus. So, really important to note. If everywhere you go, it stinks like shit, it's probably you. You know, if everyone around you are always dickheads, it might just be you. It's just important to reflect on that because I think for junglers, it's very easy to say, oh, my laners every game, oh, my laners, but what are you doing to help them? Sorry to put it bluntly, but that's just ultimately the reality, you know? There's nothing stopping his team doing this. Hey guys, I'm gonna go back to base and then buy some itemization. Ah! I was waiting for it. When would we have the silver moment? There it is. So, they'll overcommit here and die while the Rammus isn't even in the picture. And he's like, I can 1v4. It's like, you're Rammus. You can't 1v4 shit. So just do your camps. Play your camps. Take this away. Take the Scuttle Crab away. Take your camps away. Load on up. Hold this sucker if you can. Otherwise, just do your camps and look background. Just take all your camps. Take whatever is in your jungle. Take whatever Scuttle Crab you could snack. Why? Because it denies him any sort of kills and what? Because when they get kills and crab and counter jungling and dragon and bounties and shutdowns, oh man, you just lost your whole lead. Like they're only up, you know, under 2k at this point. Now the Morgana's showing up here. The Zed's hitting all the Qs in the world. He's not hitting any Qs in the world. And now the Morgana's gonna die in the situation. So this is very typical silver stuff, right? Absolutely typical silver stuff. The throws are still happening. So when your team does the silver moment, just take, juice, shove, whatever you can to decompress the map and make sure that they get only kills and not much more than that. Now, don't go 1v4 and die. Morgana and Rammus, don't do that again. We respawn here. We have our Jack Show and our Thormail. 42 cash money gold. We got this one here spent. We see this guy on the top lane. We're going for the red buff here. I think we could have afforded just to go straight for the Jacks. I think we could have been going straight for the Jacks. No reason to do this because it takes so damn long. Go and collapse here on the Jacks. Get the kill. Force us up a little bit. Maybe force a rotation. You see 2 bot lane, you can keep pushing. You see 4 bot lane, you go to the Baron. You see what I'm saying? The camps will be there afterwards. The Jax does kill the Jinx. Well, I kind of want to see how that happened. Okay, so Punchline shows up on the top lane here. Probably more Punchline than Harley Quinn, but it do be that way sometimes. Skins that, I mean. Ah, I walked within range of the Jax. Yeah. ADC's in their positioning. No one likes Jax. But point is, yanked us first. Your Jinx might live. You see everyone down here, and then you just go do this, right? Absolutely free. Really absolutely free, because you have the Jinx alive. Now, we are forced to fall back to this. We can't push this up anymore. Mundo's a little bit lost. Morgana's over pushing in the middle, and as I said, she would be. They will always over push. They will not pay attention to vision lines. They will be caught at 3v1, 2v1, 4v1. And you have to shadow or get ahead of it. End of story. Mundo! Boom! That is a nice Rammus ultimate. Jinx again. One. Goodness gracious me. She is really nailing these ultimates. If she does nothing else well in this life, that is one thing she does do well. This player, that is. Ooh! Rakana's mobility. Snack some raptors. Clear the vision. Snack some raptors. Clear the vision. There we go. Threaten with your body. No, don't give it to them. Mundo, take it yourself. We wore deep. That's nice. We should have a scanner, though. Look. If it's 21 minutes in the game and you have 6 vision score, it's terrible. Absolutely, it's vile. It's so low, it's offensive. Honestly. Control wards and scanners are all you need to keep that at least at 1 per minute. Very, very easily, actually, so pay attention to it. Now, we do the blue side quadrant, or what's left of it, and then see our teams fighting again. We see low people in the middle. He's like, oh, we should probably rotate to this. This is brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just cross-map ults. Really funny, actually, that she's hitting these. And, I mean, it's obviously because everyone's just standing still. Rakan's chasing after the melee over there. We're just kind of shadowing here. We've got a W active. We have the Powerball available now, as well as a taunt up. There we go. There's a Powerball. And we have Ghost. We have R. We could definitely be leaving. We should not be dying here. Use your Ghost, man. Use your R, man. Live. Also see the Jinx rotating down. So this is a big mistake from the Rammus here. Once you see the the Jinx coming down, and the melee are kind of helping you a little bit, you can turn with your R, right? So use your Ghost to reposition, and then turn back in with cooldowns. Hit the knock up. Hit the taunt. You've got your Powerball again very, very shortly. You've got that W. Just detach, come back in with cooldowns. Don't save your cooldowns for a rainy day. Jinx rotates, which is great, but bear that in mind. So definitely some silver aspects still occurring, but that's okay. You know, hopefully the mid-game stuff makes sense here, just in terms of passing relative to your team. We see the Zed on a bush. We see the Mundo moving here. We are level 13. The Udyr is level 12, not really doing anything at all. We're taking the Raptors. We need to drift. We have no Milio. We need to shadow this. So here we go. We don't have scanner. Like, we need to be scanning this whole thing. Do they see me? Assassins in silver. This is why you can't climb. Because you don't know if they see you or not. And then you get killed while you're trying to flank. You're like, how did they see me? It's because you don't have a scanner. You have no idea. Let's have a look. It doesn't matter when we're Rammus. Boom! It's really fun to use that ability. I mean, I prefer Volibear ult, but it's the same kind of vibes, isn't it? Zeri, come here. I mean, the fact that we have Smite here, use a Smite on the Zeri, man. So use a Smite to get your taunt, to get your knock up. The Mundo's not zoning the Zed there, misses the cleave. It doesn't really matter. We're sitting in front of the Jinx here to use our Powerball. Morgana's with us. Chase down the one target after the next, one target after the next. Very, very nice. There we go. Hit the Powerball. We get that. The Rakan goes in here. Make sure the Jinx doesn't take aggro. Come on, one more. She canceled an auto. She gets that one. Resets. Nice. Don't walk into the turret. Thank you very much. Stop walking into the turret. Thank you very much. And then Morgana's in the meantime just pushing the mid lane. Milia shows up here. We can probably just inhib from this. Jinx is basically gone back to base. Should have fallen back to the dragon instead. Checking this to see if anything's available. I like that, right? Take it, scout it, deny it, snack it. Watch your team, though, obviously. In this particular case, you got to show trust to their capabilities. Are we going to go and try and 1v1 this Jacques? Bonjour, Jacques. Level 14 versus level 14. Through the counter-strike. Auto-attacking. Using our passive for the maximum damage. I'm just laughing. It's just funny. They're just hitting each other. the Rammus is trusting that this does the work, but it doesn't, because Jax is also hybrid and he's got this and he's got this. So I don't think that was the right play. I think unless you are specifically in the know of whether or not you can beat someone 1v1 there. And I don't care about the micro mechanics of silver 1v1s. Most of the time, people just stand still and fist each other and auto-attack each other. So the Rammus now knows in the future when they're both level 40 with these itemization spikes, he cannot 1v1 him, so then don't do it. You know what I mean? Or get better mechanically. But it's Rammus. There's not much you can do, really. A little bit limited in that regard. Counter-Strike doesn't help either. So essentially, we have this mid inhib down here. We 1v1 here for no particular reason, and we die. So the Rammus, while he's got a high percentage win rate and he's playing very well overall, he's still dying and making a few questionable plays here and there. And you can see that in the deaths per game, right? Which is fine. You have to learn. I'm happy for you guys to limit test these moments and say, hey, can I do this? Oh, no way. Here we go, another one. Woo! It does hit, though. I mean, they're just standing still. So here, this is silly. Why is he here? Why are they here? Everyone should just be on this. Everyone should just be going straight to the Baron immediately. If you're in silver and you have this pressure right now, the Zed's low, everyone's good ward as well. Just go here. Everyone should be on this, including the Rammus. There's no reason to go blue. There's no reason to be here. Just be on this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Scanners, control wards, everything. Trinkets. So they win. This is not making my point. This is not making my point, is it? Yes, his laners made the right decision. Yes, your laners might not make the right decision. Yes, it's got nothing to do with your jungling when they do this kind of stuff. But if you are the Rammus and the jungler here and your laners weren't going to make this play, if you were here saying, come, let's do the Baron, they would follow you because you've done a good job in the game. He is getting away with it because he fed his laners. But now if he was doing that and his laners weren't doing this, he'd be in trouble, right? So this is the thing he's got to control. That 71% win rate could be 99% if he kind of makes sure that these things get shored up a little bit. But hopefully you understand the context. Right, we have Ghost, we have Powerball, we have the Rakan. We could have just gone on him to make sure we get the pick. We have here the Zeri and the Zed going over the back line. Now we detach from our team. We've got to try and protect the Jinx. Now we're disrupting the 3 over here, which is fine. Rakan's there in the back line. We'll get the taunt there onto the Zeri. We're like, hey, can we get you, please? Use your Ghost, use your Smite. We didn't even use our Ghost. Use our Ghost, use our Smite. We're not using Smite enough on champions. We're not using Ghost enough on champions. And we need to make sure that we're keeping our targets alive, our main priority targets alive from the enemy team's perspective. Who do they want to kill that I need to peel as Rammus? Very important. Everyone goes back to base, except for the Mundo. Jinx ult misses. There we go, cinematic. So he is losing his positioning a little bit, and he's not using the full power of the Rammus, but he's still fine. See, now we really need that Warden's Mail. Like, he should have a Warden's Mail 100% in this particular game. And now Jinx is on the bottom scuttle, and then we're going up to the Raptors for some reason. Now we get to the Krugs. No reason for this, guys. Everyone's respawned. Everyone's respawned, and this is down. Don't go here. All right, if you have to go there, because people are base, you do it first. Then when your team are back on the map, now you can join them again. Always. Don't go somewhere when your team are trying to go somewhere else. Because he's gone up, and his team's gone down. Now you're coin flipping. Now he's going back to base. Now he's getting the Negatron Cloak. I don't really know if the Negatron Cloak is even worth, honestly. I know Udyr, and I know there is some magic damage, but I don't really care, because I'm not fighting those champions, right? I'm fighting the Jax, I'm fighting the Zed, I'm fighting the Zeri, so the Warden's Mail is what I want. Here we go, we move in, we get the taunt, counter-strike, the flash is burned, the root onto the Udyr. He's trying to run away, the redemption's coming down, chase down, chase down, chase down. Nicely done. Kill the turret, very good. Mundo's bodying. Morgana's pushing mid lane. We're just hitting the inhibitor now. So the Rammus is taking his hands off the game a little bit. We need to knock the Zed up. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nicely done. Good peel, now to the Jax. Totem peel into the Jax so the Jinx can do free DPS. Very nicely done, there we go. That's it, well done. Well done, now we can chase down the ADC. Beautifully done, there we go. That's exactly what you're looking to do, except every single time. I'm glad he rotated very, very quickly, but ideally we were there initially, right? So, still a long way to go, but it's definitely good enough to destroy junglers in silver and in bronze with no idea how to path, no idea how to game plan, and he's in a better position than most of them. So if you want to climb to gold, this is how you do it, plus those fixes I put through. Best of luck. Hopefully I'll see you all either in the silver course or the gold course, and in the next tutorial.